So if you've been watching these shows for a while, you know that I tend to talk about LED lighting, and I do some reviews on the various new bulbs that have come out. We talk about lighting design ideas for your home. We've gotten into home automation. We talked about CES. We're going to talk about all those things in more depth coming up, and they all just go hand in hand together. But I wanted to do something quick and timely right now because we've got a really big event coming up, and that is none other than, big surprise, the Super Bowl, which is coming up just in a couple days, to be played actually just up the way from here in Glendale, Arizona. We actually record and produce these Lighting Answers episodes right here in Phoenix, Arizona. And speaking of LED lighting, the University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, where they're going to play, where the Cardinals do play, and the Super Bowl will occur, just a few months ago replaced all of their lighting that actually lights up the playing field with brand new state-of-the-art LED lighting. They actually were able to take about 700 fixtures and reduce that number by half, and they're saving 75% on energy. So good on them for doing it. It's the first NFL stadium to actually upgrade the lighting that's for the playing surface, all LED lighting. So that's pretty cool, and they will pardon the pun, it will probably be spotlighted in the game. But anyways, so we've got the Super Bowl, we've got parties, we've got lighting. And how does all that fit together? Well, you're going to be inviting your friends over to your place. You're going to be huddled around a large object in your living room. The TV, of course. You're going to be trying to watch the TV, and the worst thing that you can do is set up your place, get everything ready, you're going to be having all your snacks out and everything, and then you're going to turn on all the lights, probably in all the rooms or whatever rooms you're going to have people over in, and especially the big room, which half the time we know winds up being the kitchen. But in the living room, in the main room, wherever your big TV is, you're going to have everyone over, and people are going to be, some of them are going to be watching the game, some of them might be doing something else, but the people who want to watch the game want to watch the game. They want to focus on the high definition screen, and they don't need all this light shining on it, because essentially you've got a TV screen that's putting out light, and then if you've got a ton of light that's actually hitting it, you're almost canceling those out. And that's a problem. These tips actually go for more than just anything for sports related, watching games on the weekend or whatnot. It goes for any time that you're watching TV, anytime that you're watching anything on a screen. The best idea is to not have a whole bunch of light in front of you that's going to reflect off of it. And some monitors and some TVs have got some anti-reflective coatings and matte finishes, but at the end of the day, it's just best to not have a whole bunch of light on. Now, you're going to say, well, you've got this light down here, you've got a light over there, you've got all this light coming over here. And the reason I've got this is to show you how to do it the wrong way. Also, of course, I've got to light myself up for these recordings, so I've got a lot of light coming from that side so that I actually can be fairly evenly lit. This is a fairly low budget production, so we don't have a whole bunch of different studio lights. But anyhow, this is the way to not do it. The way to do it correctly is something like this. Now, I've turned off the light in the back, and I have a number of my other lights now actually dimming down. Now, this is all home automation, and most likely you're not going to have all this fancy schmancy home automation stuff. But you'll see in the video as I get darker and darker, and most likely the image on the screen actually gets darker because we were actually set up for lighting for the brighter side of things. You're going to see that we're actually going to get more definition. You're going to be able to see the image a lot better and a lot brighter. And even this light, which is a down light, is casting a much lower light right now than it was before, casting a huge amount of light downward. Even that's okay. It's okay to actually, if you have a down light on your TV, if it's on a dimmer, dim it down. If it's not, then it could be something that you want to turn off. Now let me just jump back to having the big bright lights on behind me, and we'll just say that if that's your light, if that's like your light that's on a fan or some big thing in the main room, something on the ceiling or a few things, the best, you've got a couple options. You can get some kind of a dimmer switch for it. If that's not possible, you don't want to deal with wiring, just take one or two of the light bulbs out, especially if they're those huge 75-watt light bulbs. Anything that's shining directly at the TV, just turn it off, dim it down, or unscrew it. If you've got like table lamps, if you've got floor lamps that you need to have on but you've got to dim them down, here's another great option. Dimmers like this are very inexpensive. You can get them at almost any store. It's like a slider type dimmer, and it just literally goes in line. You plug one end of it, literally one end of it goes into the wall, one end of it goes into the lamp. It's a very inexpensive solution. Now, if you want a fancier solution with, starting up some home automation, if that's your New Year's resolution, I'm going to have some links in the show notes that I'll have to a couple of different home automation kits. I'll put a link to that dimmer cord, as I might like to call it, and some other things that you might want to try out. You've only got a couple of days until the big game, so maybe you can't do a lot, but the main tips are these. And like I said, it goes for any time that you're doing any kind of TV watching. Don't have a huge amount of light coming at the TV. And that goes for daylight as well. The game is going to start at 6:30 Eastern, so probably there's not going to be a lot of daylight left, even for the time zones who it's going to be daylight. So, lower the blinds, real simple stuff. It's not, this is not rocket science. But at the end of the day, those are the tips. Enjoy the parties and the game. Whoever wins, it'll obviously be a great time. And stay tuned right here to Lighting Answers this year and coming up. We've got a lot of great episodes coming up, especially one on how to do lighting for that ever important Valentine's Day dinner. So anyways, I'm Joe DeGanzik. Hit us up on social media. We tend to post some news stories and little tidbits of information and goodness on our social media accounts between these episodes. Obviously, subscribe on YouTube. Shoot us an email at questions@answers.lighting, or just post a comment or a question on this video. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.